Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. This is episode 46. My name is Heidi, and you can find me on Ravelry as Knitty Girl, and on Instagram and Twitter as Knitty Girl 1, and on YouTube as Knitty Girl 1. I guess I'll just go ahead and get started right into the works in progress. I was going to record yesterday, and I don't know what I did, but I tweaked my back, and so that kind of threw off all my plans for yesterday. My hair is not cooperating today either. I dyed my hair, if you didn't notice. I don't know if you can really tell, because the way the lighting is, you can't really see how bright it is. Maybe like this. Yeah, you can kind of see it now. I dyed it a bright red. Anyway, I have one FO because since I had an extra day, I actually finished what I was working on. So I just have one work in progress, and it's in my little bag that I made myself. And this is the Sea Green Little Arrowhead Lace Shawl by Mary J. Mucklestone, and I am knitting this for the SSK knit along. The knit along for this month is, let's see, you can kind of see the pattern. Yeah, it's hard to see because it's not, it's not blocked yet, but. And I'm using some yarn that I'm testing. I'm going to fix this light. I don't like when there's a little bit of light and a little bit of dark there. And this is a new yarn that I'm testing out. I think this maybe is the right side. Yeah, it looks better. There you go. And this is alpaca, silk, and cashmere, and it is just luscious. This would be really great for not just shawls, but for a cowl or a scarf or anything that's next to the skin. I probably wouldn't recommend it for a sweater just because there's not wool in it, and wool is the thing that keeps memory. Wool and, well, acrylic, which, acrylic's okay, but you don't really want to knit a sweater out of acrylic. I might consider, I noticed in a magazine I was looking at that they had made some tank tops with some alpaca and silk. And I think it might be, maybe be nice for a cardigan, since, a cardigan, you want a cardigan often to drape, but I don't think I would recommend a pullover in this, although it would feel wonderful. It probably would grow 5 times bigger every time you wore it. So anyway, I'm enjoying this knit because it's not difficult. It's only 4 pattern repeats that repeat over and over until you're at the end. And the yarn is just wonderful to work with. I haven't dyed it yet, but I'm pretty sure that one's going to be a keeper because it's just luscious and luxurious. And I do have 2 FOs. I don't have any spinning this week, although I would like to finish plying up that Corriedale and domestic wool that I've been plying together. I'd like to finish that up before Tour de Fleece starts, and I believe it starts July 1st. And this is my FO, my first FO. This is Jinx yarn, and it's her single merino. And it is just lovely. The overtone of the whole thing is brown, but there's so many colors in here. It's very, very complex. It's got some golds and some reds and blues and purples. It's lovely. And it feels really nice too. It's a single ply, so it's nice and soft. So this was the boomerang. That's the recipe that I got from Dramatic Knits, and apparently he is going to be teaching some breakout sessions on this during SSK. So if you're going to SSK, you might want to check that out. I enjoyed making this pattern. I would definitely do it again since it's not difficult, and you can use all kinds of crazy yarn with this. And there's my little lightning bolt end. That's my little touch. And because I had an extra day, like I said, I was going to record yesterday, but I couldn't. Still having a little trouble with my back, but it's not nearly what it was before. I had the chance to finish this. And this is the Skylark Scarf pattern by Jessie at Home, Jessie Raylan? I think it's Raylan. Jessie Rayett, and she is Jessie at Home. And I actually heard her interviewed on Marley Bird's podcast a couple of weeks ago. She's a crochet designer. And I haven't crocheted anything in a long time, so I'm glad that I did this. I like the way that the Autism Awareness colorway, this is my Undead yarn Autism Awareness colorway minus the pink and red. There's a couple of flecks of pink and red in here, but you can't even really see them unless you're looking at it up close. And I really like the way this came out. This is not the way I normally dye, but I think I may try some more dyeing like this because I do think it's fun to have a background color with pops of little pops of different splashes of color throughout. Might be fun to play with something other than, you know, the white is easy. It's easy to do, but it might be fun to see if I could do it with a different color in the background with some pops on it. And this is my Von Fury base, and this is my first time actually working with it. Well, I did a test with it, but this is my first full project I made with it, and this yarn is a lot softer than my old Vampire base, and it is really nice to work with. I really enjoy it. I'm kind of playing with the way to wear different ways to wear this. I like the way the pattern turned out. It's kind of reminiscent of it's not really like a boomerang. It's more like, it's maybe a little bit like a hitchhiker, but it is a side-to-side thing, so there's going to be several ways to wear it. So those are my FOs. And next up is Week in Review. Last week I went to a knitting group at the Happy U, and I hadn't been there for a long time, so it was really nice to see everyone. Well, I was there for a class, but I didn't get a chance to really look around. And I did buy, see if I have it here. Yes, I did. I bought the latest issue of Ply magazine. And I haven't started reading this yet because I have been reading some other things, which I will talk about later. But this one is about spinning fine, which will be, oh, and it's lace. It's got some history stuff in it. I love history. And I think this one is mostly about lace, spinning lace, and probably some, usually there's patterns in here. Oh, and there's a thing about a sharka and some other information about a wheel, and of course there's always a cute picture on the back. So that's my newest thing that I bought. I do have one other acquisition that just came in the mail a couple days ago, and this is from Black Horse Fashions. And this is made by the lady who does the Me, My Dog, and Some Yarn podcast. She has an Etsy shop called Black Horse Knits. And I've always wanted a sugar skull bag, and she had showed a bunch of them on her podcast that she had put up, and she had a coupon code, and so I wanted to buy it. And this is really well made. I like a nice and it's a drawstring. Those are my favorite. The zipper bags are nice, but my yarn, I often get my yarn caught in them, even if they're bigger. But I do like a zipper bag, but honestly the safest for me is the drawstring bag because I don't seem to get my yarn caught as often. This one I was getting caught in the zipper. I love the bag. It was in my bag by the Silver Shed, the one that was the Autism Awareness. But yeah, I do have a tendency to get my yarn caught in the zippers, so it's nice. I think I lean more towards the drawstring bags now, but I have to say I do kind of like the zipper bags too. I like them both. I like that you can close them. I don't really like the ones that kind of gap open, because if I'm going to go out and do something, I don't want to be worried about my yarn falling out of my bag. If, you know. Anyway, we also went to see Jurassic World on Thursday night, and actually it was better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know, I guess because I didn't hear a lot about it, I thought maybe it wasn't going to be very good, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a good movie. I wouldn't recommend taking little kids to it because there were some little kids sitting next to us, and they were in Mommy and Daddy's lap. They were scared. It is kind of, it's Jurassic Park. It's just like the other one. It's kind of scary. But I suspect an older kid, like a 10-year-old or older, would enjoy that, because I know they like blood and guts and stuff and scary things. So anyway, I also, in the past couple of weeks, I have had a chance to go back to dyeing. And so I do have some new yarns to show you. I might as well do that now since I'm talking about weeks in review. I have a new colorway. I actually put 2 new colorways, or 3 new colorways in the shop. And I did put some old colorways up too. I'm sorry, I just hit the computer. This is Cookie Monster. I love this one. This one I said I almost wanted to keep for myself. But I do need to buy some more yarn so that I can dye more yarn for stitches. So I do need to be selling some. This one's called Cookie Monster because it's got the neon blue and then black and white for his eyes. And this is on the Vam Fairy base. And then I also, let's see if I have some of the older ones. I don't know if I put them in here. I guess I didn't. I also dyed some Dragon up, which was the yellow with purple and orange. And I also dyed up some Eye of Sauron, which was orange and brown and black. And another new thing that I have in the shop are well, they're not mini skeins. It's really a gradient, I guess you'd call it a gradient block set. But I did mine on sparkle. I thought, oh, that'd be so fun. Neon with sparkle. Yeah, you can see that in the picture. And it's actually brighter than this. I'm loving that you can see the sparkle this time. But the colors are actually pretty neon. It's kind of washed out because the light, it's hard to get good lighting in here, but I have really good pictures on in the shop, so you can go look in the shop to see what they look like. And I have decided these are the total is 438 yards, just like in the skein of the sparkle. I evenly split them between, so it's just like getting one skein of the sparkle, but since it is extra work, it costs a little more. This is $30 right now. But what I'm going to do for you guys, since the Podiversary is coming up, I have one kit that's a little smaller, so it will be, let's see, 50. Each one in the kit the extra little kit that I have is 50 yards, 50 times about 300 yards. So this is my little small one. I have the bigger kits over there, but this one I'm going to put up, and I'm going to give it away for my Podiversary. So what I would like you to do in the Podiversary thread, giveaway thread, I would like you to tell me what you would knit with this, and if also either that, or I want you to tell me what your favorite thing in the past 2 years has been that you've seen on the episodes. So 2 things, you can tell me one of 2 things, or you can tell me both if you want. That would be great. I love to read feedback from people. So tell me what you would knit with this, or tell me what your favorite thing was that you've seen on the podcast in the last 2 years. And that's going to be for my 2-year Podiversary giveaway. And my 2-year Podiversary is coming up on July 1st. So I'll probably run that thread from now until July 15th just to give people time to catch up and answer in the thread. So this is going to be the giveaway for that. And I also had another colorway, but when I put it up on Instagram, it was gone in 10 minutes. So I'll have to dye that one up again. And I do have some more Every Day is Halloween self-striping I'm dyeing today, which will go up in a couple of days when it's dry. And a custom colorway somebody asked for that, actually I might keep the second skein for myself because I have an idea for it. But that color, the old colorway Midnight, will be coming back soon too. I really enjoy it, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback about that color, so I will be dyeing up more of that. Oh, I also wanted to mention that since the first Shawl Along winner that had won a skein of my yarn didn't contact me, I have pulled another person. Her name is Kay Bryson77. I mentioned this on the last podcast. She is Christy from North Carolina. You have until the end of this month to contact me. And then if she doesn't contact me, I'm just going to throw that prize out. I've decided that I'm not going to ear burn people anymore because I really want people who are listening to the podcast to win. And so make sure you tune into the podcast if you've tried for a prize, if you've entered something for a prize. Oh, I have a lot of things I've been watching because I haven't talked about that in the last few weeks. I don't know what it is I like about this show. Maybe because it's like a teenage soap opera, and I used to watch soap operas back when they were in style or popular. But I watched this show called Awkward, and I've actually binge watched all 4 seasons. It's basically about high school, the end of last couple of years of high school, and all the drama that you go through in that. And it's just fun to watch and like remember what it was like to be a teenager again. I've also started I'm rewatching Charmed, and I'm working my way through season 1. I watched that kind of here and there. I haven't watched them all at once. And it's kind of nice because there's some that I didn't realize I hadn't seen. I used to watch it every summer. It would be on, when I had cable, it was on TNT, and I would watch it like every day. But there were so many seasons, I never caught up on all of them. And I did finish watching 666 Park Avenue. That is really creepy. If you like creepy, you should watch it. It's got one of the guys from Lost. I forget him. He was the big person who was like, towards the end, you weren't sure if he was a good person or a bad person. He was the bald guy. He's in it, and so is Vanessa Williams. And then there's a lot of newbies that are in it. But it's about a hotel, and he and Vanessa Williams are the ones who own the hotel. And they basically made a pact with the devil, and they are required to do certain things to help keep themselves wealthy. And it involves hurting other people, but it's interesting. It's very psychological more than physical threats. It's more psychological. I think there's only 1 season. I watched the whole season, and I think that's probably it. It's pretty dark. And then I also am watching Orange is the New Black. We have not finished the 3rd season yet. We're trying to just watch one a night, which is hard because last night I think we watched 3. But it's like House of Cards. They don't give you a whole lot of stuff to watch. We're still watching Blacklist. I can't believe we're still watching that. It's taking forever just to get through the 1st season, but they do have a lot of them. And also we watched the last season of Sons of Anarchy. By the end of that, I didn't like any of the characters. I hated them all. And I was like, they're all going to die. If they don't die, who cares? Because I hate them all now. That was a pretty awful season, the last season. So I'm kind of glad that's over because I don't know if I want to watch those people anymore. They were just everybody just got more and more evil and more mean, and not fun. And it was really weird because when we finished watching it is when that, I'm guessing this is national news, I'm not sure, but there was a big, huge biker brawl in Waco, like right after we finished watching that season. I think like a couple days after. It was weird. Like, oh, okay. Weird. Anyway, on to reading. I finished reading The King by J.R. Ward, and she's the one who writes the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I don't know if I'm going to keep reading these series. It's kind of to the point where now they keep introducing new characters, and I'm starting to get confused who the new characters are, and I'm not sure if I'm all that into the new characters. And each time she writes a new book, there's usually a focus on one of the brothers, and it's starting to get kind of removed from me. This one I kind of felt like was, I don't know. I like reading about Wrath, but I think I enjoyed it more the first time when he was, before he got to be the king, and there was more interest in the story. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of feels kind of forced now. I don't enjoy it as much, so I might try her other series. I know I have a couple of her books. I can't remember what the other series is about. I think it's about angels. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look, but I think I may try those instead, because there's another one out. The King was her latest, and now another one's come out, and I don't know if I'm going to read it. I also just finished Frostbite today by Rochelle Mead, and I actually think I'm going to keep reading the series, but I'm at the beginnings. It's funny, sometimes the series at the beginning, they're really good, and then it kind of starts to fizzle. So we'll see. That was the second one in the Vampire Academy series, and I actually really liked this one. I read it really quickly. I read it in probably a week, and it's been a while since I've read something that quickly. And I'm also listening to Dreamer, a novel by Charles R. Johnson, and that is about the last couple of years of the life of Martin Luther King. And I'm finding it interesting because, you know, when we were in history class, you learn a lot of things, but you don't learn them in a lot of detail. You kind of learn the background, and I don't think it's interesting to go back and read books now, because then you get to fill in a lot of the blanks that you didn't know about. So I am enjoying that. And I also am listening to Great Courses. It's the Elements of Jazz from Cakewalks to Fusion. And I really enjoy the Great Courses. I've only listened to a couple of them. One of them was about Egypt. And there was another one I listened to. I can't remember. This is the third one that I've listened to. Our library has them. And I'm so excited. I was so excited when they had them, because I had heard about these, I can't remember where, on a podcast or something. And I think they're really neat because their professors record these and then they sell them. And they're pretty expensive. I mean, but you know, if you're taking a class, it would be expensive anyway. So they're usually about $100 or more a piece to buy these things. So they have a lot of these at the library. And I've always wanted to learn more about music, because when I was in college, I mostly, you know, undergrad, I was focused on English, and I've always been interested in music. I played the violin for 8 years when I was younger, and I used to listen to music all the time. When I was a teenager, I would listen to music rather than watch TV. I'd go in my room, shut the door, and just listen to music. So this is really kind of neat for me to learn some history about music. And then I am going to be reading Cat's Eye with Bookish Stitcher and Stitching Between the Pages. They are starting a read-along. I have the book at the library. I have to go pick it up. It's waiting for me there. And I wanted to mention that the Autism Awareness Knit-along is still going on. And it's we're doing this with Pinhook and Needles and Fiber Town and Nicolo's World. And you can enter your finished objects in any of our groups if you're in the group. And I'm going to be giving away a skein of, I think I showed last time, a skein of Tempted Yarn this month. So if you have knit something in bright colors, you can be entered to win this. And this is 375 yards of a 50% superwash merino, 50% silk, and it's got a nice twist to it. And I also wanted to mention that next month, starting on July 1st, I am going to be starting a knit dye spin. And what I want you to do is either spin a 4-ounce braid of roving or top, knit with your hand spun, or dye something. And this would be fun to do something different. I'm going to be doing Tour de Fleece with the Caffeinated Knitting Ladies. So I wanted to encourage y'all to do some spinning. I know I haven't really done any contests with spinning. That I've opened it up to spinning in the Autism Awareness thread, but I haven't had anybody enter their spinning. So I kind of want to encourage more people who do spinning to follow my podcast, because I actually enjoy that, and I would like to talk about spinning too. And I also wanted to mention, since we have reached 600 members, I pulled from the introduction thread for another person to win a skein of my yarn. And the winner for that is Mawre. It's Mawre. If you will contact me, you can pick something from my shop. The only thing that I'm not going to be giving away for a prize are the gradients. The color black gradient set that I showed. I'm not going to be offering this up as a prize for the member thread. I am going to be, but I will be offering a small set for the Podiversary, but it's not available for a prize. Anything else in the shop that was available? Even the Autism Awareness colorway, I have one left if you would like that. So PM me and let me know what you would like. And I think with that, I have mentioned almost everything. Oh, there's one other thing that I wanted to mention. The Pinhook and Needles podcast will be doing a read-along to spread cancer awareness. And I think it's specifically for heart cancer, not heart cancer, what do you call that? I can't think right now. Heart attack prevention, I guess. And that means you can knit or crochet anything with red. And I have a skein of yarn in mind for that. I'm not sure what the project is that I'm going to do, but I do know that I'm going to use that. When I do have two more things I wanted to say. Thank you to, oh, where did I put it? Franciscan Gypsy gifted me a pattern, and I wanted to say thank you very much for that. I have had this in my queue, and I haven't knit it yet, but I am looking forward to doing it. It's called the Easy Folded Poncho. So thank you for that. And I also was gifted the new sock pattern by Mrs. Shu of the Innis Knit podcast. She gifted me her new sock pattern. And I will be using, when I get to it, I don't know when I will get to it, but I will be using this yarn that I dyed in the sparkle base to knit those socks when I get a chance to knit socks. I'm trying to finish up a bunch of things so I don't have too many new things on the needle, but it's hard because I'm going to cast everything on right now. I really do. Anyway, thank you ladies for the gifts of the patterns, and I look forward to making both of those. And with that, I'm going to say get busy knitting or get busy dyeing.